Hi everyone and welcome to today's video where we're going to talk a little bit about acrylic ink. I'm going to share with you everything I possibly know about them and we're going to play together. Especially today I'm using Daler-Rowney ink. This is the FW series and I have some pearlescent color and some normal color. The color I'm going to use today are platinum pink, light green, antelope brown, rosienna, and another pearlescent color which is this Dutch blue. Now the way this video is structured, I'm going to show you the different way you can actually use them while swatching them, and then we have a little creative play together, and in the end of the video I'll show you everything I've created with them for this video. And yeah, we talk a little bit about pro and cons and what you can do with them. Let's begin with some swatches, but before to do that, I want to show you what's important about acrylic ink is that they need to be shaken before use, because otherwise you will have a very liquidy top part and a more dense base. So give it a little shake. But not just that, while you shake them, you also want to release the pipette, because otherwise on the inside of the pipette you will have a more dense form and not the true consistency of the acrylic ink. So I'm going to shake them all and then I'll come back to you. After swatching them, you can already see a big shift of color. This looked very black and now it's kind of brown yellowish. So let's start to analyze them by swatching them, and I can show you all the way you can use them. So because they come in this pipette, you can use them for mark making and make some beautiful mark on your paper. But you can also just dab your brush in some water and use it as normal paint. I will do this again with a darker color so you can actually see. Very interesting is when you place water first and then you let it go, and there is a beautiful play happening. Let me do with a darker color. I'm going with this second one. You want to make sure you always close it because accident can happen, and these come in glass jar and you don't want to waste all of your ink. These are not cheap supply, they are quite precious, at least for me. The beauty is when you let it do its own thing. It's just spread like crazy. I want to do this again. And you really need a little, and yeah, it goes a long way. The other color I have is this light green. Let me dab some water here. And if you let it touch the water, it will continue spreading. This also very, very interesting effect. Ooh. I love this color. We will do also a bit of mixing This is an antelope brown, and it's sort of a greenish brown. It's just running everywhere it finds the water, so it's beautiful for mark making. The last one is pearlescent serious Dutch blue, and I love just to brighten it, do some mark. Perfect. Let's leave a little dab. And leave it free to play. Now you can add the color one on top of the other, and let's see what we can get. Now they are sort of unique color, the one I have here, so not the best for mixing, but you can always create something new. I want to probably add a little bit more of this yellow in here and see what happens. And also I want to add a little bit of green in here and see what we can get. So as you see, I'm working with a limited palette. So this is a beautiful green tone, more natural green, that I'm going definitely to use. And a nice pleasant green we created here. If I mix this brown with this green, so you can just write on top of your painting straight away, or you can have a mixing palette on the side. Nice dark green. I love green, so I'm okay with that. So let's see what we can create today. Let's do a little quick play here, just to get confident with what we have. Alright guys, this is everything we created for today's video. Let me show it to you. We started with a swatch of our colors and we did our first attempt. I passed then to do another landscape that was done also in mixed media, and I actually did this one first, a straight on abstract, and then I went ahead to do these two at the same time. This one I am absolutely in love with, and I did this one as well. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about the paint and everything that I learned now. So first thing what I learned with this painting is that you can layer color on top of each other very easily, which is quite important. And also, if you use the pipette and then you want to spread that around, you will have the line underneath staying there, so you may need to be careful and use this paint either as a mark making only with the pipette, as I did in here. As you can see, this one was done with a pipette inside, like this one and this one, and this was on top of acrylic and with oil pastel on top. The tutorial for this will come out very soon. These two, the tutorial is already out. So this was just a little play around, and I also learned that it's quite difficult to just work with acrylic ink on its own, and for me it's much easier to layer them with other paint around. With this painting I start to layer with color pencil and with a metallic pen and the brush pen, and probably use a bit of new color as well. And yeah, it came out quite neat. I really like the result. It's very simple and efficient, and when you layer with a paintbrush you can get really nice spread of the color, and the mixing are quite lovely as well. Now the color that I chose, they were not meant for working only with acrylic ink, but to complement my acrylics, so they don't really work that well together, but I didn't make it to work. I'm absolutely in love with this one. As I said, I use it for the background acrylic ink, and I think the best use of acrylic ink is for an abstract background or for mark making. So I will not use to work just with them or to make any more realistic like work, but I will use it for abstract background and for mark making. I think they work really well. They work very well with other medium. I layer here, as I said, with oil pastel, with color pencil, pastel here as well. Here I use art graph and a graphite block from Daler-Rowney, so really I play with any type of material. And this is also use acrylic marker and some metallic pen. They work very well with every type of material. I use different type of surfaces. As you see, this is my art creation, which is just I believe maybe 140 GSM or just 90, I don't remember, but it's a very light paper, but still it holds very well every type of medium. I use some watercolor block sketchbook of different weight and different texture, and they all perform quite well. And I use also some mixed media paper, and yeah, they perform well on different type of paper. As you see me using here, if you add the water first and then the color, they spread very nicely, they flow easily, they mix well, they layer well, they are a pleasure to work with, and they are amazing for abstract and expressive work. We need to be mindful that this paint is acrylic paint in the end, which means dry permanently. So when you paint, you need to keep that in mind, that you cannot reactivate it. It dries fast enough, then it depends how much water you use. If you just use it as a paint with a paintbrush, it will dry quite quickly. If you use with a pipette, you're gonna have a more bigger amount of ink. Or if you use it with water underneath and then the ink on top, still There's going to be quite a bit of water, so it will take a little bit longer to dry, but it's relatively quick on drying. Now, I would be mindful, as just last bit of information, to by the pearlescent line compared to the normal line. I didn't realize how pearlescent was actually going to be. Doing it again, I will probably just buy this platinum pink, because it mixes quite nicely with other color, adding that pearlescent look to other color should you want to. But yeah, definitely don't need to. It really gives a bright look to your entire painting, and unless this is something that you want to achieve in purpose, I will just go for the normal line and maybe have one quite neutral pearlescent that you can add on top of other color and gain the pearlescent look. Okay guys, this is all for today's review. Let me know what you think of this paint, if you ever try acrylic ink, which brand, and what's your experience been like with them. If there is any information that I forgot to add into the video and that you like to know, please let me know down in the comment, and I will come back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, like, and yeah, bye.